Today is Friday, January the 9th, and our goal for this year is getting $50,000 in income through Doordash alone. We've already started off the year behind. We've started off the last couple days behind, so why not start today behind a little bit? So we have a little bit of back things trying to catch up. One of those is getting used to the camera, getting used to the settings and things like that. So I apologize up front about any wrong camera angles or the quality of the microphone and things like that. We will improve those as we go along over time. And then trying to get some videos uploaded and get the channel all set up and organized. So again, we will improve those each and every day as we get some time. It is 12 noon now. Today our goal is to work from 12 p.m. until 12 a.m. 12 hours with very minimal breaks. We'll see how we can hold up with that. So here we are in our traditional Doordash parking lot, getting ready for the shift. Let's take a look and see if there was anything crazy going on overnight. Okay, so right now it's saying that there's a 26-minute wait time. There's a 2-minute wait time for Platinum users, which we are Platinum. And if we kind of scroll out, if we scroll out a little bit, we kind of see the surrounding area, the metropolitan Indianapolis area. There are extra promos going on, plus $1 an order, plus $1.50 an order, plus $2 an order, all different kinds of things there. We're going to stay in our zone today. I think there's going to be enough money to keep us busy. Our overall Dasher rating is 99 out of 100. We've got 96% acceptance rate. Everything else is 100%. Our customer rating is 4.88 out of 5. We had one peanut. Well, we actually had 3 peanuts give us a 1 star. Probably something totally out of our control. And our goal for today is to make $225. We'll see how that goes. There's our first order. $6 going 3 miles for Dollar General. Oops, I forgot to turn off the shopping. Well, we'll go ahead and take this one. Okay, we just got an order from Wendy's and McAllister's. $11.04 going 5 miles. That's not bad. I was just about to say that we've been here. It's now 12:40, so we've been on for 40 minutes. We got that one shopping order, and we haven't gotten an order since then. Kind of stinks. And I was just thinking of switching zones because the zone beside us has a promotion going on for $2, an extra $2 per order. However, that's going to end in about 40 minutes. So by the time it takes us 20 minutes to get there, that's mostly over. However, then it goes down to $1 an order, and then it goes up to $2.50 an order till about 5:30 p.m. So they do have a promotion going the next zone over for about 5 hours. So we'll see if we get anything past this order. I was a little frustrated there since we've only gotten our second order here after 1 hour, but we're at $17.29. The first one being a shopping order, so they do generally take a little bit longer. Decent dollars on the second one. It's going to take us a few minutes. We're right on the edge of our zone. I had thought about switching zones, but the more I think about it, there's going to be a lot more traffic as we get closer into the city. And usually when you're in that edge zone, then it kind of tries to push you into the city even farther. Especially with it being a Friday afternoon going into Friday evening, there's going to be a lot more traffic there. So I think we'll stay where we're at in our zone and just roll the dice, and hopefully we get busier. And something else I forgot is tonight is, I was making sure that guy was stopping there. Something else is we have a football game tonight. Our local team, the Indiana Hoosiers, are playing against Oregon. Should be a very good game. I believe this is the prequel to the National Football Championships. So we will be very busy tonight. A lot of wings, a lot of pizza orders, things like that. And should be decent tips as long as, I just kind of push that a little bit with every order that kind of goes out about that time. Just say, "Go Hoosiers," or something like that. The guests kind of like that and enjoy that. Like last year when we had a good run with the Pacers, it definitely helped. I think we probably got a couple extra tips out of that. Yeah, we finally got an order. I think I fell asleep there, just grabbed a quick 5-minute nap or something, but we've been going for an hour and a half. Now we've got our third order. It is a $4.25 order, which will put us up over $20 for the day. Man, in an hour and a half, off to a very slow start. But it is Friday night, and there is a ball game tonight. All right, well, here we are again, falling asleep in the lot, and we've got an order for Wendy's, which is right next to us, going 1.2 miles. It's only $2, but it's an order, so hopefully we're not going to get $2 every order, because that's ridiculous. Yeah, this should not be happening. We've got a guy taking up 3 parking places right in front of the door. That's crazy. So we started off our day with a goal of $225 in 12 hours. Granted, we started off a few hours late. We could have gotten another 4 hours out of our normal work day, which would have made it very easy and very manageable. And now that we, if we break that 12 hours into 6-hour segments, a little more than $100 in 6 hours should be fine, should be easy. Not too much problems. But now we're 2 hours into it, we're only $25 plus. It's looking pretty rough. However, keep in mind, we're looking for $50,000 in a year. We're looking for an average of $1,000 a week. There's going to be good days. There's going to be bad days. There's going to be good weeks. There's going to be bad weeks. There's going to be peak seasons and low seasons. So right now, we're actually in a low season for the restaurant industry. Just after the holidays until tax time is a very, very low period for most restaurants. We'll kind of see how we do with it, but we're off to a rough start today, but we're not worried. Okay, we got an order $6.37 from McDonald's, going 3 miles. The parking lot that we normally sit in, it's actually right behind us, so all we had to do was turn around, and now we just have to cross the road to get there. This particular McDonald's is slower than the average one. When you get to the evening shift, which is when I Doordashed quite a bit over the last year, they're literally the slowest place in town. And then there's a couple of ladies who generally work that front window area, and they really work hard. They bust their tail. They're trying to get the food out for the customers in the front and the dining room and everything. The dining room's never busy at all. Then there's these 2 guys, in the majority of the supervisor pool there, the shift leaders or whatever, but there's 2 guys, and especially when they work together, oh my gosh, it was like playground central and everything. The place was dirty, the place was filthy, and I wouldn't even want to go there on those nights. And when I would walk in as a DoorDasher, I'd be like, oh God, these guys again? And you know that it's going to be longer than normal. Plus, there was one of the guys that would actually, there would be one shorter guy, and he'd be kind of working the front, and another guy would be working the drive-thru. The guy on the drive-thru would come over and grab the stuff out of the dining room or DoorDash bags and sell his drive-thru stuff. Yeah. And so, they'd be like holding on something, and then he'd finally get it, he'd put in there, the guy would turn around and it'd be gone. He'd be like, yeah, so I can imagine there's like a lot of stuff had to have been missing, as well as delays and everything, but it affected me quite a bit. And there were a couple of times I said, hey, man, that ain't really right. Because I saw him, he saw that I saw him, and I'm like, look, man. So anyway, one time something kind of comes up, and they decided to close the restaurant with no notice. Yeah, they're like, we're not taking any more orders. And I'm like, we close at this time. And I'm like, so since when? And they're like, well, We always did. We just always stayed open. I'm like, well, if you always stay open later than your hours, if you've always supposed to close at a certain hour, like say 11 o'clock, but you decide to stay open till 1, then your hours aren't 11 o'clock if you've always stayed open later. Anyway, I'm like, is that posted somewhere? You know, because I got to tell DoorDash, you know, I was sitting there in the drive-thru waiting on food, and there was no food because they closed. And I'm like, do you have something posted that your hours are different than what your posted hours are? Well, no. I'm like, well, I have to tell DoorDash. And so anyway, it was an interesting encounter, to say the least. Okay, so we finally got a decent order. It is $23, going about 12 miles. We're going to go to 2 different places to pick up. We're going to go to Pizza Hut, and then we'll go to the north side of town there at PetSmart and pick up. Hopefully it's just one item each place and easy in and out, and the pizza is ready, hopefully. We can be over and done with on this order in about 35 minutes or so, hopefully. We'll see. That literally took way too much time for that pizza. And it's actually 2 pickups and 2 drop-off locations. They've been doing something new with PetSmart where the order's already ready for us, and all we got to do is just walk in and pick it up, which is very nice. Before it was like always some kind of crazy things. It'd be like insects for their reptiles and stuff like that, and I didn't know what size, kind, all that kind of stuff. Live, dead, crazy different stuff going on with all the different types of things. And then when you go in for the dog food, you would think it'd be easy. Get dog food. No. They've got aisles and aisles and aisles of dog food, cat litter. So yeah, on our way to PetSmart. Okay, so I wish that the DoorDash algorithm kind of understood the basic concept of hot food. So when you get a restaurant order and a retail order, and you pick those both up together and everything, I understand that there's a lot of things going about and play with the algorithm as far as trying to maximize minimize the amount of distance traveled and maximize the time from point A to point B and all that kind of things. However, I wish that it thought about hot food first. We're primarily a food delivery company. And even with groceries, I mean, you're delivering ice cream, you're delivering some frozen things, some things very perishable like ice cream. So this is what happens. We go and we pick up the order of pizza, then we go to PetSmart, pick that up, and then we go and drop off the pizza. And now we're going to deliver the PetSmart order. And the PetSmart order is like 9 miles out of town, or 9 miles away from me right now. Granted, it did not take long at the PetSmart. However, PetSmart usually only has like about 2 or 3 employees that I can kind of see that basically deal with the customers and everything. And usually the person up at the front counter or near that area is usually very busy with dealing with other customers and everything as soon as I walk in. Usually it takes 3 or 4 minutes just to get acknowledged to kind of get something. Very easily could have taken 4 or 5 minutes. Now keep in mind, the pizza was being dropped off literally like a 1/10 of a mile right behind the PetSmart. A 1/10 of a mile away. It was literally probably about 6 or 7 houses, residential houses away from the PetSmart. That's how close it was. I could very easily have dropped off the pizza and gone to the PetSmart after that. Distance-wise, driving, mileage, whatever you want to say, distance-wise, I probably would have been a difference of about 30 seconds. But to the food customer waiting on their hot pizza, it was probably a difference of 3.5 minutes. And it very well could have been a difference of 7 or 8 minutes. Speaking of AIs and algorithms, I've got something fun to share with you. I noticed this last night where I was ineligible to refer a friend. And it made me wonder. I'm like, it says I'm ineligible to refer a friend. Well, why? So I click on it, and it says you need to complete 30 dashes, or you need to work for 30 days, or don't have a bad strike on your record or something. I'm like, what are you talking about? And so I decided I was going to call support since it's been a slow day, but I decided, well, we'll just send the message there. And of course I get the AI bot and a canned response, which basically restates the obvious, what I just said. And so then I stated the obvious. Could you check my account? Then it actually gives me a decent response. And so I said, well, thank you. It would have made things a lot easier had that been worded that way in the app. So we all have to understand, AI is here to stay. The bots are here to stay. They're always going to be having some kind of AI bot answer our questions at the first level, and they're going to sound more human. When you call somebody on the phone, it's going to sound more human. It's going to have somewhat decent responses up to a certain point. And what we have to understand, that even though it is an AI or bot or whatever you want to call it, by us being polite and communicating with it and saying, yes, that's a correct response, no, that's not a correct response, then that is how that's going to learn, because the only way they learn is from input. It's a computer. It only knows the information that is put into it, pure and simple. Or you could just be like some crazy old dude and just freak out and get all upset at the computer. Okay, so remember I said I wasn't really worried about the dollars. So a few minutes ago, we were sitting about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I think, and like $20, yeah, $21 or something like that in 2.5 hours, and I was like, man, things are looking pretty rough. And now here we are at 3.5 hours, and we're at $55. So just one really good order every now and then really does help things out quite immensely. Even if that order is a 40-pound bag of dog food. I thought I turned shopping off. Here is a place I don't know. It says Confection Connection. Yeah, I've never seen this place, but then again, I haven't sat in this lot for a while. A lot of places are now going to an online storefront where the online name of whatever it is totally different than what the actual restaurant is. Oh, Cafe and Bakery. That may be that. Wow. If we can find a parking place. This is one of our rougher parking lots called Confection Connection. Well, we will not be checking out the Confection Connection. They are closed. So their hours were, I don't know, like 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. And then there's a sign posted that says new hours are 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. So they've shortened their hours from 2 shifts to 1 shift. And today it is now 4 o'clock and they're already closed. So I'm guessing it's slow and the owner decided to just close early. Which sucks because, you know, they forgot to turn off their Doordash. So here we got a decent order, $6 going a couple of miles. Unfortunately, it's going to take me back where I just came from, which is the edge of town, but that's all right. And the other unfortunate thing is this is the slowest Taco Bell. They used to do a really good job, and now they've been slow for about the last month and a half or so, and it's like very painful. Time is 4:57. Let's see when we get that order done. Actually, that wasn't very bad. It is now 5:00, so 3 minutes to get the food and get out, and we are 1.5 miles away from the drop-off point. Now, we need about 20 more of those to finish out the night. It's been extremely crazy slow today. In fact, I thought that maybe there was a problem with the app, so I canceled out the shift, or I ended my shift, and then I cleared out the cache and did some other things there to try to, restarted my phone, did a couple of other things there. I'd already paused and done that before, but yeah, it's crazy. Just, it's like, you expect it to be slow, but then it's still Friday night, and there's a major ball game going on here in a couple of hours, so I expect it to pick up any minute, and it's not, and I'm like, there's got to be something wrong. But hopefully it gets a little bit busier soon, or just a couple of really good orders. This is traditionally a slow time of year for pretty much every industry here in America, especially retail and restaurants, service industry type stuff. But knowing that, plan and prepare. I wish that I had a chance to plan and prepare, but I didn't. And we're as this series is going, you'll find out just how far behind we are on everything. And my car wants to tell me I'm too close to the car in front of me. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. At some point it should turn off, but it doesn't. That's annoying. But this is also the time of year when most companies cut out their deadwood, especially in the upper management ranks and everything. So this is traditionally, right just after the holidays. That's when all the firings kind of happen and all that kind of stuff. I wish DoorDash would do the same thing. The people that aren't doing a good job, just kind of cut them out. But they actually do, kind of do the opposite. It's like the brand new people that don't really know how to do the job or haven't proven themselves. Yeah, they give them really great orders so that they want to keep coming back. It's kind of reverse from every other job. Like the traditional service industry jobs, the new people get frustrated because the older people kind of hog all the money, hog all the good customers that are coming in and all that, and they get kind of the leftovers and the scraps. But DoorDash is the exact opposite. I find that the longer you do this and the better you are at it, sometimes the orders aren't quite as good. Although, since they changed things, I think it was December the 8th, They readjusted the platform slightly and the tier levels, the gold, silver, platinum. When they did that, I did notice a shift that I feel like my platinum level actually means something now. It could be a false sense of whatever, but I do feel like I'm actually being rewarded for being a platinum dasher. And if my rib wasn't broken, I would be dancing in this car. We just got a $13 order for, I can't remember the miles. I'll put it up here, but I think it's about 3 or 4 miles, 3 miles or something. Very good order. We needed that. We got 2 stops to go. A place called Triple Boba. It's a new boba shop that just kind of came in town. I don't know. I think it's been around about 4, maybe 5 months. Yeah, it probably came in just before our festival, our town festival here called Riley Days. James Whitcomb Riley is from this town, and so yes, the poet. And so I think that's first weekend in October. So it probably came in late August, early September, I think. Anyway, so there's that, plus I believe it's Pizza Hut is the second one. So this is going to be a good duo for us. Okay, so here's an interesting thing. I've been in the Pizza Hut there for a while. I don't know how long, but a while. Let's see when I got the order. Do I have it? Yes, 25 minutes ago I got this order for the triple boba and a Pizza Hut. I went into the triple boba and the boba shop, and it was ready. And I came right over to the Pizza Hut, which is, I don't know, a mile and a half down the road. And I've been standing in there for the whole time. So I would venture to guess I've been in there for 15 minutes. Been watching them struggle. They've been having some problems with stuff. I bet there's like 8 employees in there in a Pizza Hut, which is crazy that they have that many people working. And so anyway, they just now told me that it's going to be another 10 minutes. So I don't think it should be that long, but we'll see how long it takes. Actually, I've been in there for 20 minutes because the car shuts off in an hour, and it says it's going to turn off in 40 minutes. My $13 order that I was ready to do a dance about is now going to cost me a lot of money because I'm sitting here for... This is going to be a 40-minute order. Alright, so we just got done with the Pizza Hut there, and that was kind of crazy. So the order came in at 5:13. It is now 5:51. So we'll see how long it takes us to deliver these two. We still have... Yeah, I got to hold on to this one because of the way the bags are. They're crazy. I'll show you when I get out. But it's not very far. We've got 2 miles to go for the first drop-off. And I don't think there's much miles to the second drop-off. But yeah, they're cute. What they're doing with the drink carriers now, it's like in a plastic bag, and the 2 drinks are side by side. So they're great to kind of carrying things. If you're like carrying and walking, they're great. But to put them in your car or to put them somewhere else, they really aren't that great. I think maybe it might be designed to go in your car cup holders, but they don't. Not every cup holder is the same. I found that out. I've spilled many a drinks in many cars, and so now I know to be extremely careful, especially with certain drinks. Yeah, I'm having a feeling we're going to be approaching 1 hour on this order, which is kind of crazy. I did message the customer, let them know that something happened with the pizza ovens and that their order was being remade. And then because it's a double order, then I also went and talked with the other person with this other order that unfortunately, I hope it's not, it's like a dessert or something, some kind of dessert drink, a boba dessert or something. Yeah, I hope it's still okay. No way to realize that you're going to be sitting somewhere for nearly an hour. And in the summertime I would have a cooler, but in the wintertime, I have warmers. Because if somebody orders an ice cream, I don't plan on carrying the ice cream very far, or having to sit for an hour. So it takes one good order to really make a, kind of help improve your night, and then it takes one little stall right at the beginning of dinner or during dinner to really kind of ruin things. Because in a small town, your big dinner rush is not very long, and sometimes it wants to kick you way out of town to the farmlands or something, and spending half hour, 40 minutes out of town on a drive, or having to wait in a restaurant, which normally we don't have these waits in restaurants. Normally most of the restaurants here are pretty decent, and we don't have long waits like this, and certainly not like this. Normally if we're waiting more than 12 or 15 minutes, there's a serious problem with the restaurant. Okay, so this isn't horrible. We're right at 45 minutes, and we are 2 minutes away. Can't see. I don't know what that beep is. What is that beep? What the hell's that beep? Is that the door? There we go. Yeah, we're right at 45 minutes, so it's going to be about 47, 48 minutes total on this order for $13. So we took an order that was really good, and just by that pizza oven going down on us made it almost horrible. Nah, not horrible, but really poor. I guess, yeah, we could say poor. So it's slightly less than our average. Because we're probably, what is it, $13.50, something like that for 48 minutes. We're going to be probably about $15 an hour, give or take. But there's always the next order. Okay, so just as we handed off that order, we got another order for the Thai restaurant. It's not great. $11 for 12 miles, but at this point, the way the day's gone, we need dollars. We'll worry about the miles later, but we need dollars. We have bills to pay. That Thai restaurant is one of my favorite restaurants. Unfortunately, it's a little expensive, so I haven't been there in a while. It's kind of funny because the guy there, I don't know if there was a language barrier or what, but I was up there looking at, they had one order ready, and so I was up there looking at it, and it was for Michael, and my order is for Kelly. So I just looked at the name and backed off. He comes up and he asked me, what's the name? And I said, Kelly. So he looks at that. And he looks at my phone. I'm like, here. And he looks at the bag. He looks at my phone. He just keeps going back. Kelly. He's like, oh, okay. It literally takes him a while. So then he goes back, and then finally we get the order. Oh, he brings up another bag for this one. And so anyway, finally I get the Kelly order. It's 2 bags. And they're both, I mean, one of them's marked in real big black permanent marker, Kelly. And so I'm like, both bags. And he's like, no, and moves one to the side. And then I'm like, it says Kelly on it. And he's like, oh, yes, both bags. Okay, so we just passed, we just got off on the exit in between us and the large city, Indianapolis. And so what I'm going to have to do is when I drop this order off, I'm going to have to pause my orders, which basically means that I don't accept any orders for 30 minutes. Of course, it's a variable time. I can change the time. Because when I drop this off, it's going to send me to the fast food places which are at this exit. And it's going to want me to deliver to Indianapolis. So I'm about 8 or 9 miles away from my town, but I'm about 3 miles from Indianapolis. So why they want us to go into Indianapolis is beyond me. So yeah, I need to pause my orders and then hop back on the expressway and get back to my town and then turn it back on. So I lose that amount of time. If it were the daytime, I would leave it on. It is 6:25, which means it's the middle of our dinner rush. I need to get back home as fast as possible. Take advantage of as many dinner orders as I can, rather than going to Indianapolis and get caught in this back and forth motion where I lose 20 minutes every order, because that kind of happens. Maybe one day I'll show you guys how that works.
Turn left onto Buck Creek Road.
Okay, so we got a double order for Taco Bell and Little Caesars, $7. And both of them are being dropped off at the same apartment complex, so that's good. And and I had mentioned earlier that we were going to do a 12-hour shift, and if we could do a little over $100 in the first 6 hours, even as slow as it was, we wound up doing roughly about $90 the first 6 hours during that break. So we'll see what the next 6 hours brings during the game. The game is just about ready to start. Indiana Hoosiers. And the customer for the last order just met us out at the car, actually. And so that was an easy handoff. And then I instantly got an order from Popeyes for $8 going 6.7 miles, I believe. Yeah. Things are looking up now. So I just dropped off that order, which was to the south of town. And I was just coming back into town, and I got an order for our local Mexican restaurant, Los Vaqueros. It was only $3, which is very, very low for a restaurant like this. However, I'm hoping there's going to be a cash tip on that. We'll see. Okay, so unfortunately, that order did not give us a tip. But we didn't have to wait horribly long. Now we came back, we sat at the parking lot. We had to wait just a moment before we got an order. It's now almost 8 o'clock. We got an order for a wing place. The game just started a few minutes ago. First play, Indiana gets an interception and runs it in for a touchdown. Go Hoosiers. So we get an order for the Atomic Wing Place, $8, going 3 miles. So we get an order for Taco Bell at $5.75. I was just driving north and this Taco Bell's right behind me, and unfortunately this is the Taco Bell that is very slow. So we'll see how long it takes to get the order ready. It is like 8:14. Then we were just getting back to the main strip here, and we get an order from Papa John's, 4.4 miles and $8. It is a pickup in about 8 minutes, so they might be a little bit behind. I would expect that they would be behind. We had dropped off that pizza and we were driving right back, and yep, another Papa John's pizza. Now this one is pretty rough. It is $3.50 for 2.4 miles. It also is due to be out in 15 minutes, so we've got a long wait. We've been listening to the game. It's a good game. It's a good game. IU's playing some pretty solid defense, and they may go up by 4 scores by the half. We'll see. All right, so we just dropped off that Papa John's order, which was $3, but we got a $20 cash tip. There we go. We just got back to our main strip. We got an order from Panda Express for $4.35, going 3.3 miles. And yeah, well, we just dropped off that Panda Express order, headed back to town. Yeah, we got about $85. Well, and then we had 50 more because we had to shut the app off. So can we get about 80 or 90 more dollars here in the next 3 hours or so, 2.5 hours? I planned on ending at midnight. So in 2.5 hours, can we get another 80 or 90 dollars? Well, we do have 20 in our pocket, so that'd make it more like 60 or 70 dollars, wouldn't it? It's pretty close. So we just got a double order here with Taco Bell and Buffalo Wild Wings. $10.50, going 3 miles. That's a decent order. We've got about 2 hours left in what we wanted to do. If we could get a couple of really decent orders, we could still make our goal. So we just dropped off that order, and then we picked up a order going to an order coming from Wendy's. $2 going 2 miles. Not that great, but hopefully we'll get a cash tip. So a $2 order from Wendy's, a bunch of desserts, going to one of the nicer hotels, handed to the customers. You really think it's going to be a cash tip. Till you get up there and you realize there's a lot of high school kids roaming the halls. That's all right. We'll get at the next order. So we just got an order, and we just pulled out of that hotel, and we get an order for Buffalo Wild Wings for $5 going 8 miles. And a lot of people will call that an upside down order because the dollars are less than the miles. And they'll say, oh, you shouldn't take that, or you need to take it if it's $1.50 per mile or $2 per mile. And I see these people all the time that they'll like cancel their orders, or they'll decline the orders or something, and I'm just like, it's the law of averages. If your average kind of gets there, you'll eventually get there. Especially in a small market, you really can't afford to decline a lot of orders. Now, if you were in a major metropolitan area where you got an order every like 2 2 orders to choose from every 10 seconds, I could probably see that. Oops, I'm in the wrong place. I went to Wings Etc. instead of Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, we have multiple wing places in our town. Oh my. That ball game is going crazy. They just blocked a punt. Oh my goodness. That game's been over since about halfway through the first half. It was probably over on the first snap whenever they caught the interception and ran it in for a touchdown. First play. I figured the orders were going to start coming in slower since it's later at night. I went ahead and turned on the shop and deliver. As soon as I turned on the shopping orders, I got a $15 order, but it was going 15 miles. And so we went ahead and took it, and we're coming back from that, not quite into town yet, and get a $7 order. And that one is 7 miles, but we're still 4 miles outside of town, so it's actually somewhere there in town. But yeah, there's $22 here for this hour already. Well, while we were sitting in the drive-through at Arby's waiting on the order, we picked up another Arby's order for $6.25. And now that we're dropping that off, this will be our last order of the evening. Getting really tired, and back is really hurting, and my chest is hurting, so came really close to our goal, even with the slow start that we had.
Turn left onto North Blue Road.
We had the crazy slow start. We came very close to our goal.
So how do we do on Friday night? Keep in mind, we want to work about 12 hours and make $225. We did have a little bit of a slow start, and then sometime roughly about 11 o'clock at night, it slowed down kind of crazy. But all in all, a fairly decent day. Not the best day, not the worst day. Our DoorDash total came to $75.45. Our tips came out to $131.88 for a grand total of $207.33. We did not achieve our $225 goal, but we did manage to make about $16.85 per hour. Dollars per mile wound up being about $1.06 per mile. So that means that the government may possibly owe us gas money. I know. Check with your own accountant on that one. I'm just saying, there is that likelihood we might have money coming back to us on today. But I appreciate each and every one of you watching. I appreciate all those thumbs up. Appreciate all the comments down below. And if you are enjoying the content, if you are enjoying the series here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because we're doing daily uploads here of our grind to $50,000 through DoorDash income this year. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.